Now, on to the Pistons. It has been so I love watching their games this season. Cade has just been carrying these guys, and I'm here for it. The Pistons won on the road 133 to 125 in Phoenix, and the story of this game was just offense on both sides. The Suns and Pistons were just scoring the ball, and some of it was bad defense, but a lot of it was just shot making. Like guys, everybody it felt like everybody everybody who touched the ball was on fire on both teams, and it was a fun game to watch. The Suns trailed for pretty much the entirety of the game. The Pistons went up early, and it felt like every time, like once the Pistons were up early, like it felt like every time the Suns hit a shot, the Pistons were able to match it. Like KD would hit a three, Malik Beasley would come back and hit a three. Like Bradley Beal would hit a three, or Tyus Jones, and then Tim Hardaway would come down and hit it. Like they were just going punch for punch, and the Pistons were just able to match it. Durant was great scoring in this game. The Pistons don't really have a good matchup for him per se because Asar, he's too small to guard KD. Like he's a great defender, but he's just a little too small. And then Tobias Harris, he just isn't a very good defender, and like he's more, I guess, KD's size, but that's still a tough matchup for him. They the Suns started to cut the lead though. Like I said, they were trailing the majority of the game, but they started to cut the lead, and they even got it down to two. I mean, excuse me, they cut it to three with 2 minutes left, but the Pistons just immediately went right back up because their offense was just incredible in this game. And then again, the Suns cut it to four with about 30 seconds left, and Cade just rises up, and you probably seen this highlight on Instagram or on Twitter, but he just rises up over KD for like a pull up three on the right wing to ice the game. And I think this shot has some implications. Like I think it's just showing that it's a great shot from Cade for one, but also I just feel like his confidence is continuing to rise and rise, and he's getting more confident, like taking shots like that. Like that's a huge shot over KD. To if he misses that shot, the Suns have a chance to come down, and you never know what happens after that. So just a way to carry your team. And then the biggest thing though for the Suns and kind of why they lost this game was the turnovers. Like it was 19 to 13 turnover wise. So the Suns had 19, the Pistons had 13. And so it's pretty surprising because that's usually the Pistons' Achilles heel. Like they turn the ball over a lot of silly turnovers, but they're pretty solid in this game. Now, on to the Pistons side, Cade is just such a great floor general. Like he's always communicating, he's always talking to guys, and he's great at hitting all of their like off ball shooters. He's great at throwing lobs. He's great at like he just sees the floor so well. And over these last 6 games, he's averaging 12 and a half assists, and on the season, he's averaging 9.7. So just a great playmaking year from Cade, and I truly think Cade has the potential to be a number one option on a championship team. Like he's he has a bunch of those elements that you look for in a number one guy. Like he's big and strong, but also slow and methodical, like similar to Luca. They're both these big, strong 6'6" guards, but obviously he doesn't have the same shot making, but he's definitely improving. But I think where he has Luca beat is on the defensive end because he's so versatile. Like he can guard 1 through 4. He does it all the time, and he's a very solid defender. He can block shots when he needs to. Like, and I think the potential to just grow and develop, like as he gets older, as he improves, like the potential's there, and it's just up to the Pistons to kind of continue to surround him with talent. One other thing that I really like about Cade already is he knows he's bigger than a lot of guys. So he already knows when to like go down and post smaller guards up and use his size to draw double teams, kick it out to shooters, and them adding shooters like Tim Hardaway and Beasley, who I'm gonna touch on in a second, but the team looks so much better with shooting on the roster. That's been something we've harped on since they drafted Kate, and this season they finally addressed it, and the Pistons are starting to take off a bit. Like I don't want to get my hopes up too high, but they've been winning more games this season than you would have expected. In this game, though, the Pistons were just doing a good job feeding Duran, like on lobs and dunks around the basket. He was 7 for 7, and I'm pretty sure. at least 6 of those 7 made field goals were dunks. Like he just kept dunking the ball. They couldn't stop him. Jaden Ivey also had a solid game with 28 and 8. And the combo of Cade and Ivy as a backcourt continues to look more and more promising as the season progresses. Like they fit so well together because Jaden Ivey is like a fast guard who likes to get to the rim, and Cade is more slow and methodical. So it kind of just works out. Like I used to be a little skeptical about it, but like seeing them play more and more together, especially with shooters surrounding them, I think that was the thing that was missing last season. Like they look like a real legit backcourt. And then just to finish this off, I want to give a shout out to Tim Hardaway and Malik Beasley because they went 9 for 17 on threes, and that's just great production from your shooters. Like Malik Beasley, especially off the bench, he's been averaging 15 this year. Just solid season overall. And they play the Lakers tonight, and I'm hoping they just continue this good play because they keep winning games, especially in the East. Like you never know, they could climb back up into like that 8, 7, 6 range possibly. But hoping for a good game from them tonight. And then just for my preview for the week, the Spurs, like they just continue to win games, especially in the West. Like they're a couple games above 500, which is I didn't expect coming into the season just based on how good the West was. And like I didn't think their team, I thought Victor was good, obviously, but I didn't think their team was good enough to win this many games. But it's been him. Like, they play the Sixers tonight. I want to see how this game fares. I don't know if Embiid's going to play, but if the Spurs win again tonight, like their next game is pretty winnable. They're going to climb in the West, and who knows? Like if they keep winning games like this, like I don't expect Victor to just start playing bad. Spurs might end up like I feel like they're going to end up. They might end up as a play-in team this season, which would just be just great experience for all their young guys. So, and then one other game I want to look out for is the Suns versus Nuggets. The Suns are on a 2-game losing streak after they just lost to the Pistons, and the Nuggets are on the second night of a back-to-back, and they went to overtime last night. So they're probably going to be a little gassed. They have to catch a flight back to Denver. So I'm looking for the Suns to probably win this game because if they don't, that's a 3-game losing streak, and in the West, like dropping games like that is a death sentence. But that's all I have for today. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the Peer Review Podcast. And please make sure to share the podcast with your friends and family, as well as follow us on X, again, at peerreview_pod, and on TikTok at Peer Review Podcast to stay up to date with our latest episodes and releases. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. This is the Peer Review, signing off.